Sanaya looked familiar. She's from American Horror Story and I believe Hidden Figures. Is it Hidden Figures or Fences or maybe both? But yeah, she's the young child star of this new Fox show called The Passage. Now, The Passage is actually a book series, and I figured that out quickly just because of how they were promoting it. I've never read the books, but I just knew. Because Fox is good for, well, a lot of TV shows are actually based off of other things like book series, and Fox has definitely done this multiple times. I mean, I used to review the show, what was that show called? Dang it, it was a show, it doesn't matter. That's not the focus here. Hey guys, my name is Romie Reviews, and let's talk about this pilot episode for The Passage, Season 1. I feel like this show has limiters on it. And what I mean by that is, I see the potential, but I feel like they're not really willing to go there. Because, to me, it looks like the show is supposed to be a little bit more, I won't even say gory, but a little bit more hardcore. And I know for TV sometimes, especially for major network TV, a lot of times they have to go and not overdo it because they want people to watch. But essentially the premise is this girl, her name is Amy, Belafonte? She is this girl whose mother died. Her mom died through an overdose. And here's my thing. That alone, again, I did not read the book series. So let me know if that overdose was really just because of her mom, or if it was because the agents went and gave her mom drugs. Maybe that's what happened, and I just didn't realize it because I wasn't 100% watching it. So I know there's a lot of things I'm sure I missed. But her mom had an overdose, and now she's orphaned, which is important. She doesn't have any other family that will take care of her. It's very important because what you have to realize is that Amy is now going to be subject to, she's going to be no better than a test subject, like a human guinea pig. What's happening is there's this doctor, we'll call him Dr. Tim. So Dr. Tim and his scientist friend, they both went to, South America. They were doing this study of this virus, and the virus essentially goes and turns people into vampires. That's the main premise. This virus, it goes, changes people, turns them into vampires, and but we're not using the word vampires, even though they drink blood. They look dead. They don't have regular brain function. I mean, what else do you want me to call them? They're super strong. They have some form of like a hypnosis. They seem to be able to do it, at least right now when people are asleep, invade their dreams. Again, it's very interesting. I said, okay, I see the potential. I really see the potential, especially when I heard that it's a book series. So there's more than one book, which means that people liked it. But we have Agent Brad. Agent Brad, and I knew it as soon as it started and he interacted with a girl. I said, oh, this guy probably has a daughter. And he did. And it looks like the daughter died. We don't know why she died. She died at this point 3 years ago. And I feel like him seeing her is like, oh, I have to protect this young girl. Thankfully, even though we already see that they're going to either get captured or willingly go to Project Noah, which is where Project Noah is essentially this program. It's a program that's funneling mainly inmates because they can't get regular, willing participants to go and do this. So they're using inmates to go and take the virus. And essentially the issue is, as long as you're an adult, heck, even if you're a teen, the virus will take over you and essentially turn you into a vampire. If you're a child, however, there's very, very minuscule possibility that will happen. The problem is, Noah's kids are going to go and set them up for that. Well, I mean, that's not true. That's not true at all. But let's say for the show's purposes, no one's going to willingly do that to their child. And they can't have the government really looking into it, even though it's partially funded by the government. But, okay. Well, I'm jumping too much ahead. What's important is that they end up going and using inmates because those are the people that are able to do it. Heck, the inmates don't even really want to do it. The inmates aren't told what's going on. They're just told, hey, you have two options. You can stay in here or we're going to take you. And, of course, they're like, okay. Actually, one of the we're not calling them vampires. What are we calling them? Virals? We'll call them virals now, since it starts with a V. One of the virals is actually an inmate who killed 2 people before. I believe it was 2 men. All that matters is she's dangerous, but they're all infected, so they're all dangerous. It doesn't matter at this point where they started. It looks like Tim's going to be the leader because Tim is also messing with everyone's mind. His friend is trying to convince everyone, oh no, you're just tired. Oh, you're wrong. No, that's not what's going on. Yes, that's exactly what's going on. You're the problem. Because you don't see it. Because you won't accept it. It's not them. It's you. What is in my hair? Anyway. When they went... this episode, it really... What got to me was the regular moments in it. Like how when Brad and Phil, who at the time was supposed to be his partner, go and they pick up Amy from her foster parent, who Amy was back there fighting, and I was happy she was fighting. She was not getting beat up. She was fighting. She is scrappy. She is smart. She is black. I mean, what? Nothing else needs to be said. Period. And she realized, oh no, there is something wrong here. They always send, if you're with child services, they always send a woman. We know had So then she went and tried to run. Phil, the mean one, went and captured her and slapped her. I said, now what the... Mind you, people are looking like, wait a minute, what are you doing to that little girl? I'm thinking, so why did no one run after? I was over that. But then I was happy when Brad was driving the car, and when it was like, all right, hold up. And yoked up Phil for a second. Got him together and said, if you ever do that ever again, period. Oh, I enjoyed that. But we see that the budding relationship between Amy and Brad, how Amy wanted to go to a carnival. Well, Amy was reading in the car, so then she got car sick, which I thought, okay, maybe she's going to devise a plan to run. But no, she really was car sick, and they stopped. Brad made sure that she got some stuff. He talked to her. Then he gave her the iPad. It was like, okay, you use this to watch TV. I mean, it was like a parent and their child, because at one point, Brad's ex was messaging him on the iPad, and she was like, oh, who is she? The chemistry between the two is so good. It is. I enjoy that. I feel like I'll enjoy that a lot with the show. When they ditched Phil at the carnival, and when Brad put Phil in the chokehold, I loved that. When Brad was showing Amy how to shoot because she wanted to get this unicorn, and just like teaching her again as if that was his daughter. I said, oh, this is cute. When he was talking to his ex-wife, and we get the further dialogue of how their relationship ended after their daughter died, and how he never forgave himself for whatever part he played in it. I don't know what he did. We'll eventually know what he did, but the important thing is that's what really caused him to realize, I can't take this girl to I forgot the location, to the Project Noah site. I can't do it. So then he decided to ditch Phil, and she just went along with it. She was like, oh, okay, cool. This is dude that was mean and, hasn't stopped being mean, and, you've been nicer to me than really anyone's ever been nice to me except for my mother. Okay, let's go. And it kind of hurt my feelings that the bar was that low, that clearly her life has been so tumultuous up until this point, that because her mother was a drug addict. But anyway, they go on the run, and we see that now there's orders to go after Brad, go after Amy, get Amy back, and essentially shoot to kill when it comes to Brad. And so then Brad was able to temporarily get away, but then he realizes, we need to go, and I need to turn myself in. At this point, I'm a fugitive, and we're not going to make it. We are not going to make it. And so then she was over it, but she said, okay, whatever you say. And I love how when he realized, oh, the police, they can't help us. The feds are coming after us, so they can't help us. So that's when that fight scene, which I thought it was good, and he did get hit, and then they drove away. And one more thing. I love the scene where he takes her to this lake. And essentially he's like, because he asked her, wait, your mom died 3 days ago. Did you have a funeral? And she was looking at him like, funeral with what money? Who, what, where, when, who would attend? Like, what are you talking about? So he took her to the lake because he said, you need to release. You need to release your feelings and release the negativity from that portion of your life and acknowledge the positivity. Because at first she was saying, her mom one birthday went and got her, what are those things called? Like 2 donuts, and she put whipped cream, something like that. And then she really started to think about like what was something that meant a lot to her that her mother did. She was like, whenever she was scared, her mom would allow her to come to the bed, no questions asked, and comfort her. And she, it broke her down because she realized, okay, her mom wasn't a bad person, because then she even said that her mom said that she was alive her life. And that, I said, oh, this is too much. But anyway, by the end of the episode, they're on the run, but we already know that they're gonna eventually go and participate in Project Noah anyway. So I'm just wondering how long they're going to be on the run for. But I'm interested. The show comes on at 9 p.m. on Fox. Obviously, check your local listings. And I'll be back. Because shows like this, I definitely like to talk about. Let me know what you think. If you're going to watch. If you already watched, thanks. Romie Reviews here.